Writers. Have I told you that books are a writer's best friend? Anytime I'm stuck and I'm staring at a blank page and I'm thinking, like, I don't know what to write about, or I feel like I don't have any good ideas, I look to books, right? So, books are a writer's very best friend. Whatever books you have at home, or whatever books you can read online, if you're ever feeling stuck for an idea, books are a writer's very best friend. So today I want to teach you that we can really read books. Obviously, we read books to enjoy them and to love them and to get inside the heads of the characters and learn new information. But as a writer, we can actually read books like a writer and notice the craft moves that the writer is doing, and then think to ourselves, I could try that in my writing. I want to show you how I did that looking at a book called Night Job. Okay, so let me share my screen with you all. That's my little cursor. Acting funky today. Sorry about that. And so let me show you how I did that with this book, Night Job. So if you're interested in this book, I'm not going to read this book because I don't want to take the time to do that right now, but I am going to share the link of me reading this book aloud. And if you're interested in it, maybe your teacher will share the link of the book so you know the book. But you can do this with any book. And I just really want to model how I used this book, Night Job, to inspire my own writing. So reading this book, it's about, just real quick, it's about a boy and his dad. His dad's a custodian at a school, and the boy spends a lot of time with his dad, going to the school and helping his dad at his job. And it's really about the relationship between the boy and his dad and the time they get to spend together. So I love this book. I think the relationship is awesome to read about in this story. But as a writer, I was reading the book and really paying attention to what the writer, Karen Heese, Hess, does in order to make me love this book, right? Because I want to do that in my own book. I want to include the type of craft moves that published authors do so that my readers love my book just as much as I love this book, right? So this one cool part really stood out to me. There's a whole bunch of cool craft moves in here, but this one part I'm going to read it to you. It says, we pull into our space, which was the parking space at the school. Dad hauls out a ring of keys as big as the rising moon. He opens the door and the building sighs. Come, it whispers to us. And this part here, come, it whispers to us. I loved that part. I loved how the writer had the building, which obviously can't speak, actually like saying something to the reader, right? And to the characters in the book. Come, it whispers to us. I loved that. So I thought to myself, maybe I could try that in my book about trash, right? So let me show you what I'm thinking. So yesterday I did some writing about, remember I told you about the time when I felt really helpful, and Harrison and Kyle and I, we were on our walk and we picked up trash and it made me feel really helpful. So I actually started that story yesterday. I'm the type of writer that likes to do my words first and then my sketches, right? So you don't notice I didn't do my sketching yet, but I did start my story yesterday. So here's my story. And as I'm rereading my story, step one, every time I go back to my writing, I reread what I wrote yesterday, right? And so today I'm going to reread it with thinking about, like, could I try what the writer of Night Job did on my first page? Okay, so let me read my first page to you first. It says, one day we cleaned up trash. It wasn't really our plan. It just sort of happened. An ordinary walk turned into an earth-saving mission. Let me explain. Dot, dot, dot. Right? So here's my first page of my story. And I'm thinking about that craft move I noticed here where it said, come, it whispers to us. And I'm thinking, like, wouldn't it be cool if I included somewhere right here, like the trash, almost like talking to me, Kyle and Harrison, and saying, pick me up, said the trash. Right? And so there's a couple of ways I could do this. And remember what you learned about in school, right? Some of you learned to do a carrot, or maybe a star. Some of you used paper to add like a flap. So I'm going to use the paper to sort of add a flap because there might be a lot of writing that I need to do. And I'm not sure I can squeeze it in here, right? And so let me think about where I want to put this. One day we cleaned up trash. It wasn't really our plan. It just sort of happened. Boom. I think right there. What I'm going to do, just so I remember, I am going to make a little star, and I like to use like a pen or a different color so I can see what I did for revising. It just sort of happened. Then I'm going to come to my little piece of paper and I'm going to do my star, and I'm going to say clean me up, or actually I want to say like pick me up. And let me look back and see how the writer really did that. They did like they said come, it whispered to us. So I might say pick me up. Let me see, pick me up the trash whispered to us. Right? So just see how I did that? I actually probably could have squeezed it in. So now my story would go, one day we cleaned up trash. It wasn't really our plan. It just sort of happened. Pick me up, the trash whispered to us. And then I might even say, we had no choice. Right? An ordinary walk turned into an earth-saving mission. Let me explain. So I just took my writing from like good to like great by noticing what writers and authors are doing and then giving it a go in my own writing. See how I did that? Writers, today, that's what I want you to do. I want you to read like a writer. Pick up a book that you love, any book in your house, but I want you to read it with the lens of a writer. Notice what that writer or that author is doing and see if there's anything that they're doing that you might give a go in your own story, right? Awesome. Can't wait to see what you come up with. It's going to be amazing. Bye, writers. Have a great day.